Good times for a change. See, the luck I've had can make a good man turn bad. So please, 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 let me get what I want this time. Haven't had a dream in a long time.
Here in Rosemont, Chicago, Illinois, near the airport. Headed to the fashion outlets. There it is. Fashion outlets of Chicago. It's been about 2.5 weeks since I quit my travel job. So we probably won't be seeing as many mall walking as we used to. Ooh, look at that Cyber truck there, right? But I've been considering buying a float center the past week. So I've kind of been preoccupied with that. But I've always wanted to come here. I see it every time I'm on the train going into O'Hare. It's pretty big, pretty cool for the tourists. Fashion outlets, parking. All right. Mall parking only. This is the first mall walking filmed on the new phone, the iPhone. The brand new iPhone 16 will go up. Alright, never been here before. I wanted to make the drive to the float center I'm thinking about buying today. I said, oh, I'm close by here. I don't know how much time I have left in the Midwest. Especially if I do this float center, I'm going to be there every day. I'm not going to be traveling. I'm not going to have a lot of free time. So I'm going to take advantage of the time I have here in the Midwest as much as possible. It is December 10th today. It's 52 degrees. It's been cold. This place is pretty busy, bro. All right. So this is like I said, the first mall walking I've done since quitting that job. I kind of wish I didn't quit it. But a lot of the places I was going to go the next few months were a lot of the same places. So anyway, it is a Tuesday afternoon here in Rosemont, the greater Chicago area. Here is a security guard right here in the front. I might walk around before I film, but I am going to walk. Oh, there he goes. He's getting in the elevator. Yeah, much better phone. It's a damn shame I get a brand new phone and all the mall walking. The mall walking's end. Yeah, this is a traditional mall. I thought this is an outlet mall, but this is a straight up traditional mall. It's nice. Nice mall. Yeah, people want me to bring the mall walking back. I got probably about 30 episodes from the driving job, the flying job that I can post, and I will post. And I'm glad I did. I look back and I remember when I first took that job and I was having a hard time with it and frustrated. And one of the guys that sets me up on my trips and does everything for me, it's like, man, you're going to really look back on it and be glad you did this job. So just hang in there. And at that point, I was only maybe 2 months in. So I'm glad I hung in there. I had a whole year of traveling tons of places I'd never been and would probably never go, and probably will never go back again. So I'm glad. He was right. I have all these videos I have to edit. It's a nice mall though. I've got like somebody like right next to me. I think we've reached the end. Uh-oh. Somebody's stealing. I didn't see the food court though. We'll see what happens. I really don't have much to say. I've been stressing out about taking on this float center. It wasn't even offered for sale. Okay, so I'll tell you the story about the float center. So I go to this float center in Lake Zurich, Illinois, which is about 20 minutes from where I'm currently at right now, and probably about 35 to 40 minutes to drive into the downtown Miracle Mile, Chicago, right? So this woman who owns these float centers wants to just get out of it. She doesn't have the time and attention to give the float center I'm buying. So it wasn't even for sale. Only reason I know and am buying this thing was the guy that runs it that I would always talk to when I went in there and floated. He was gonna buy it, and he told me how much he was gonna pay and all the information. Long story short, he calls me up one day saying, hey, we're gonna close in a month. If you wanna float, it's your last chance. I'm not buying it. So he's not gonna buy it. And I'm like, how much? And he told me $36,000 over 3 years. So like super duper cheap. A lot of these float centers, a lot of these build outs, you gotta build showers, you gotta put float tanks in there, you have waterproofing and dehumidifying. There he is. There's our favorite guy. But anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot to build a float center. It's a lot to get started. I would be buying a business. These are cool. I like these. So he's not gonna buy it. I figure maybe she'll take 30 grand cash for it, and we'll get it going. I'm gonna go in there in a minute. But so yeah, 30 grand is the price we agreed upon. I have the paperwork. All I need to do is sign and I'm gonna give her 20 grand and then make payments over the year for that last 10,000. Well, as soon as we had the negotiation and I got off the video call with her, I had a panic attack. A tiny little panic attack. I never have panic attacks ever. I've only had it twice, and they were both when I was on acid. So I knew what it was. I'm like, man, I don't have any liability right now. I don't have any responsibility. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. I'm talking so much. I got the hiccups bad. Okay, so yeah. It's 30 grand, giving her 20, paying off the rest. Okay, now we're hitting the spot. And like right now I have no responsibilities, no liabilities. Like to buy this place, one of the issues I have with it is I've got to pay rent. I'm not gonna own the property. So we're talking $3,750, $3,750, all the way up to $4,000 over the next few years in terms of I'm gonna do probably a 3-year lease. So between the rent, I didn't check out the food court, but between the rent and all the other costs, the salt, the power, the water, all the utilities, advertising, the cost every month to run this place is going to be between $6,000-$7,000 a month with the rent and everything else. Not the best food court. I don't see a Chick-fil-A. Nothing that great. But anyway, I don't have any responsibility or liability. No, but you got to spend money to make money too. So I'm like, do I really want to be responsible for $7,000 every month. And some people are like, that's nothing. That's no big deal. It's not a lot of money. But the risk to reward ratio with this, I don't know. A lot of these float centers recently have been going out of business. People selling. She's obviously selling. But this is a great float center. Like the float center I used to co-own and work at, it was a dump. It was like a fucking shed. Like literally, it was a shed with like metal walls, and I don't know. And my business partner, when she ended up taking it and trying to sell it, 80 grand, 60 grand, she never ended up selling it at all. She had to pull all of her stuff out of there and just vacate the premises. And that's what this woman that I'm going to buy from is going to have to do if I don't buy the place, or if she can't sell it to somebody. So it's like an opportunity of a lifetime, and I don't know how many more of these great opportunities. Like, you gotta understand, like, this is 30 grand for a fully built out float center with 2 tanks, ice bath, infrared sauna, salt cave, a whole room to do another float tank that's already built out. You know, in terms of the plumbing, it's already built out, so you could have 3 float tanks, no problem. There's a lot of potential. And it's a place I could have like, you know, I'd have to basically live there too. That's the other thing. I'd have to break my lease, and I'd have to basically live out of there until the place starts to make really good, you know, good money, and I can afford to have 2 rents a month, you know, business rent and my place I would live. So I've agreed. I've got the contract. I've stopped contacting. I've been, like I said, I had a mini panic attack right after I got off the phone. I couldn't sleep that night, and that's not like me at all. That's very unlike me. So I'm trying to, like, this is something I really want to do, but at the same time, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of money. I mean, it is relative, right? 30 grand. But it's also, I got to do a new lease. I probably have to do a new security deposit. I have to do a rebranding. That's going to cost a lot of money. I need to go in that store there. But rebranding is going to cost a lot. A new website, everything. And I've missed the opportunity for Black Friday sales, and I'm missing the holiday sales too. So I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to do it. But it is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm glad I've been able to walk through this mall and not have any issues. But yeah, here's the security guard over here. There. Keep the camera over here. But yeah, man, this looks like this is the end of the mall walk here. It's just one. It's like shaped like an L or something. See if we can find a map. That thing leaves cool shadow. $7-Eleven in the mall. Yeah, this new phone's got a really good camera. Is this one of these screens you can touch? Nope. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, so it's like an L, exactly, just like I said. I'm on the first floor, Nike factory store. That's cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on, guys. I'm thinking about buying a float center. It's the opportunity, the deal of a lifetime. The price is a no-brainer if you've got that money and can spend a little money to make some money. But it's also a lot of responsibility, and every month coming up with $7 grand. Here's the security guard. Hold on. All right, he didn't care. So we've seen the mall now. I'm gonna finish up here, but that's the mall walk. We're still out here walking, baby. We are still out here walking. But this is a nice mall. No drip buckets. I feel safe here. You're by the airport, so lots of tourists. People coming through Chicago. I'm sure you can get some factory outlet deals. So they do have outlet stores here, but it is very much a mall feel. So I'd check it out. But there's nothing too special here. There's nothing of note. It's just your average mall shaped like an L. It's actually kind of psychedelic. That's pretty cool. But yeah, nothing special here. You're not missing out. I will check out the Nike outlet here, though. Here in Rosemont, by the airport. Let's go in the Nike factory store. Looks like she just came from the airport. Look at her. She probably literally just came from the airport. I'm only really looking for red and black. Anything to complement the Pizza Hut look. Red, black, and white. Wisconsin Badgers, Chicago Bulls, Pizza Hut. It's pretty cool. Chicago, just do it. The mall isn't perfect though. I mean, look at this. This escalator doesn't work. On the other side, there's an escalator that doesn't work. So they've got two escalators that doesn't work. Aside from that though, the mall's really nice and seems to be maintained and cared about. People making money here. One going up, one going down. But yeah, that's about it. I'm just making laps at this point, getting some walking in. So yeah, the top floor of this mall is luxury goods, luxury stores. And the second floor is more your normal pedestrian, average consumer stuff. I'm out of breath because I just went up a flight of stairs, bro. Helly Hansen, never heard of it. But anyway, that's it for the Fashion Outlet Mall here in Rosemont, just outside of Chicago. Thanks for watching. As always, you are enlightened. And that's all she wrote for the Fashion Outlets of Chicago, bro. On this warm, for this area, December day, 51 degrees here. I mean, I don't know if it's warm or not, but it's been 10s and teens and 20s, so hope y'all enjoyed that mall walking. Thanks for sticking with me. See you next time.
Darker shame, darling, darker shame. Save those lies, darling, don't explain. I recall Central Park in fall, how you tore your dress, what a mess. I confess, that's not all. Darker shame, darling, darker shame. Thank you for walks down Lover's Lane. I can see hearts carved.
All right, so I'm going to check out this location tonight. I've been here quite a few times.
In half a mile, turn right.
Quite a few times to float. So we'll see parts that I haven't seen before. It's close to some shopping centers and it's not too far from Chicago, so the location's not bad. The area seems pretty nice. Alright, it's right there. So you have to change the signs. That looks like that's an easy little fix there. That's not too much. The van isn't coming with it, I wouldn't imagine. And the good thing is I don't have to change any of that because there's no stuff there. We park. That would have to change. That would have to change. Hopefully that wouldn't be too difficult. This is nice, nice desk. How's it going? Switch. Okay, that's weird. These signs would have to be changed. You don't even need signs, but they are cool. You know, the van, I don't think that'd be coming. The stickers have to come off, obviously. This is an easy fix up here, so that's cheap. That luckily doesn't have to come off, which is good. All right, January 27th, gonna head to Lake Zurich for the last time. Gonna see what happened to the float center I didn't buy. If they've changed anything, demoed it, new businesses there already. And as you can see, it snowed a little bit. It hasn't been a mild winter basically, but if it snows a little bit and it doesn't warm up, it kind of stays here. But yeah, let's go to Lake Zurich. Anyway, headed, like I said, to Lake Zurich. I have to head to Illinois into the Chicago area at least once every 2 weeks. I get a lot of cash from Pizza Hut, and there's no Bank of America here. The closest ones, there's no Bank of Americas at all in Illinois. I'm sorry, in Wisconsin. There's no Bank of Americas in Wisconsin. So that's the primary reason I'm heading into Illinois. And what I used to do before, I was doing the flying every week and discovered that there was an ATM in the O'Hare airport where I could deposit cash. I was driving out here and I was floating. And then after I stopped doing the flying job, I still came out here and was floating. I'm still in Janesville now, but so yeah, I mean, I almost bought this float center. I floated at for almost a year, and I really had this routine of on my days off, I'd spend half the day driving there and back, floating for an hour and a half. Come home relaxed. So I have a float center that's closer and I actually like better, but I really did enjoy, driving into Illinois, taking the back roads. And I was so close to buying it. But ultimately, it was just too expensive in terms of monthly operating costs. The upfront price, the price to buy it was insane. Unbelievable. I'll probably never see a well built out float center as that for the price I could have bought it at ever again. But I didn't want to live in another float center. I didn't like the landlord I was going to have to deal with on a monthly basis. I didn't know if he was going to like or allow me to live there. I would have had to broker my lease here, spend, $3,000-$4,000 just to do that and a move. And then hope it's successful. And then if it's not, I've got to live off the rest of my savings that I didn't use to purchase the business. So looking back, I kind of am sad that I didn't go through with it sometimes, but most of the time I'm relaxed because I don't have to deal with that constant, and but that's what any business is going to be. So in a lot of ways I'm disappointed in myself, but I got so much going on right now and I just don't have the necessary energy it would take. And I've just done this before. I've lived in the float center. I've done this lifestyle before. So we're going to go check out and see what's happened to it. I'm actually disappointed, to be honest with you, that through the float center, through the traveling, I got better with the traveling, recording it and doing the mall walking, but I always go through these situations where I'm like, man, I've done all these things and I wish I could have chronicled it more with video, but I've actually, I'm almost wanting to take that back now, but I don't know. I could have recorded more and I could have got better equipment. I could have given it more, but at the same time, I'm like, I gave it as much as I could give it. There are other things that was pulling at me for my energy. It wasn't just me saying, I don't have enough time for this. It was just so many other demands, and the travel was taking it out of me. And then to sit there and have to go through and edit and to get on the plane and do it again every week. There's not enough turnaround time for me and the level I wanted to do it at. But we'll see. We'll see if I can get a little resurrection going here with the videos and the content. But yeah, I want to document all these float centers that have closed that I used to float at, and now I can talk about my job because I don't work there anymore. So we'll see where this all right, I'm getting closer. So like I said, I was coming here at least once a month. I had the monthly membership. I discovered this as a place. Well, first of all, I went to all the float centers in the hour and a half, 2 hour radius of where I'm living, both Wisconsin and Illinois, because I'm right on the border of Illinois and Wisconsin. So this became my go-to Illinois place when I was coming back from wherever flight, through O'Hare. And then as I would leave Chicago area, it would be on the way home potentially. So I would schedule, sometimes I'd get in and go right to a float after a flight. It feels great. It's really good for jet lag, and it just brings you back up to 100. The more I dug into it, and it was Mercury retrograde, and she was nice. We had a great conversation about it. She quickly drew up a contract. It was going to be very straightforward. I just take over the assets. I don't get the business name. It's just and there's the landlord. So ultimately, I didn't like the landlord. Never met him, but over the phone. But very, he's Polish. I couldn't communicate with him. I thought it was way too much, and I don't know the area. I'm not from Lake Zurich. It's a nice area, actually. I did a lot of research before I was going to buy it, but I'm not from here. There's going to be costs with me moving. I was going to have to live here until I found a place. In the float center, and I didn't know if the landlord was going to be cool with that. It was just too much, and the vibes were off, and I had to pass on it because my fixed costs every month were going to be between $7,000 and $8,000, and that's not including paying myself, which I would be the only employee. Like when I first started to think about taking this over from the guy that passed on it, there was a lot of costs I didn't realize, and also I was going to have to pay, not just $4,000, but $8,000 for the deposit, for the space, for the contract. And I think it was going to be a 2 or 3 year contract, and it was going to just keep going up every year to adjust for inflation. And I didn't like how much it was going up every year. And like I said, it was Mercury retrograde. I told Gloria, I said, let's wait till Mercury retrograde is over, because we had gotten to a point where, like I said, I had a contract in hand. We had talked, had a Zoom chat, and she was great. I heard other people were going to go buy it, but we're about to find out as I pull in here. I'm getting so close. I was so close. I was going to live here. There's a Culver's. There's all the shopping. You're probably less than 30 minutes from downtown Chicago. But I don't know. And the numbers were like, it was going to be like $9,000 a month. And then after my costs, I'm like $1,000 for all that hard work I'm going to have to do. And who knows what also potentially underlying things were wrong with the place. So here we go. We're going to pull in here. The sign is gone. Oh no. Yeah, the sign is gone. Wow. It says Soma spotted. Somebody, the sign has changed, right? So it's not the Float 60 branding. Did this other place leave too, or they just closed today? Like this just looks sad over here. But yeah, I could be living here right now. I'm actually kind of glad no one's here, so I can kind of just sit here and look at it. Oh, they look like they're cleaned out in there. Oh no, let's see here. Today is Monday. They're closed today. That's why. Okay, I picked the perfect day to come in here. And they took all, obviously their Float 60 signs are down. No, it's so sad. It's so sad. Because, when you're watching this video, I'm going to put obviously the times I came here. This will be a Float 60 Lake Zurich retrospective video. I've got so much content. I'm just trying to figure out how I should present it and what's the theme of the video. But yeah, this will be, I guess, just like a Lake Zurich Float 60, my experience, my reviews, and it's now gone. Potentially like the solar float in Melbourne, Total Zen Float where I lived. Everywhere I go, they fucking closed down. But they are gone, buddy. I could be living in there. Is it open? There's no way it's like Total Zen, right? Where I went in there. But yeah, it's empty. It's closed. It's gone. I could be living there right now. But I decided not to. This would be what I'd be looking at every morning. It's not bad. Like, the area is actually really, really nice. Lake Zurich is a really nice area. But another thing, I didn't know if I wanted to commit to snow and the Midwest and wind and Illinois taxes and Illinois bureaucracy. And I don't know anybody here. I have 0 people I know, especially in Illinois. I know 0 people in Illinois. So that's why another reason why I decided to pass. But yeah, man, that's a bummer. But that's the way life is. Everything's always changing, impermanence, letting go. Yeah, all the signage is gone. Oh, I can see in the window there. Or no, they've got a shade up. But yeah, that's it for Float 60 in Lake Zurich. Look how dirty my car is. It's been so cold I haven't been able to wash it. It's been so cold that when you spray the water, it just like turns into ice in the air. And I don't think that's probably good for the glass. So anyway, that is another one bites the dust there. Another float center gone. And it's built out for float tanks. So it'll be interesting to see if somebody wants to pick up that. But the thing is, I looked at the numbers were just going down, and I didn't have enough money. I didn't want to risk all of my money on a place where it's not a novelty here. What's changed? Not much. It would just be new ownership. So it was like, man, they've kind of shot their wad here. And I guess the people, for whatever reason, either can't afford it or don't understand it. So I'd have to do a lot of advertising. And this isn't Florida where I know a ton of people. I knew so many people in Florida, especially the place I was living, that area, Castleberry, Oviedo, Orlando area. And Space Coast. I know so many people that were within an hour's drive of where I was living, and also more influencers and stuff. But yeah, that's a damn shame. But yeah, the rent was too high. They were going to start me out at like $3,750, but it was going to go up into like $4,500 after the second year. And I'm like, no, that's too high even for inflation for me. So that's the story there. That is the last. We'll see. Probably this will probably be the last time I see Lake Zurich, because there's other Bank of Americas to go to, and that's where I'm going to go next. I'm going to go about a mile down the street here to Bank of America and make about a $900 cash deposit for my Pizza Hut tips. But that's it, folks. Thanks for joining me on another episode of, I don't know what this episode is going to be called, but that's Lake Zurich. Float 60 location now closed for good. They probably demoed the inside. As you can tell, they took all their branding down. So that's it. If you don't love it, you lose it. So support the local things that you like. Otherwise, the people have to shut their doors. Again, it's been awesome talking to you and seeing you and presenting content to you. Again, we'll chat soon. You are enlightened. You know, we are back in the blue. Always back in the blue. There you go. All right. Culver's drive-through. Culver's drive-through. You know the song? If you do the mall walking. All right.